Like we're live. Hello again in our next webinar. Today we are going to talk a little bit about agencies, but before it happens, we would like to ask you at least for a single comment from each platforms we're streaming on. We're streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So let us know if you can hear us and you can see us properly. We're waiting for your comments. Thanks.
In advance. Norbix, thank you very much.
Norbix working. Thank you very much, Norbix.
If I remember correctly, you were also present on Polish webinar, so it's a pleasure for us to host you and then to see you again.
We got ourselves a real fan.
Yeah.
It's always nice to see. Okay, what about Facebook and LinkedIn? Okay, let's just wait. All good. Okay, thank you, Dioma, or correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, thanks, Robert. Okay, looks like we're fine. So let's go straight to our today's agenda. Of course, today's webinar title is Scale Your Agency with Landingi. We are going to talk how to create and manage subaccounts. Subaccounts are workspaces within the Landingi main account. It's pretty much the essence of Landingi agency accounts. So we are going to talk about how to create them and how to manage them, give proper rights and credentials, and set up limit packages on these subaccounts. And next, we are going to show you how to set up your own notifications or autoresponder domain to personalize your agency account. And at the end of our webinar, we are going to talk about how to apply other agency plan settings. We are going to show the list of them and quickly describe them to you. And if you have any questions, we are going to address them at the end of our webinar and Q&A session. So straight to the subaccounts. Subaccounts are, subaccounts are pretty much, there you are. Subaccounts are pretty much the essence of the agency account in Landingi. These are so-called workspaces dedicated for each team or each of your customers. And on these sub-accounts, you can set up limit packages to make sure everything is in check if it comes to your traffic or domain limits in an overall global account view, and provide these sub-accounts with access to specific landing pages. And we are going to straight away to our platform to show you how to create the sub-accounts and how to give this limit packages and how to assign specific landing pages to the sub-accounts. But before it happens, we are going to talk a little bit about two most popular cases of using a Landingi agency account. So the first one is a so-called reseller. Reseller meaning someone who is selling a Landingi solution among with other services or products under its own brand.
It can be also known as a kind of affiliate program when you are joining Landingi to promote it, let's say. However, with sub accounts, you can actually sell them as your own product, for example, right? So yeah, that's when sub accounts can become handy.
Yeah, that's correct. And the other one, use of sub accounts is for internal organizational purposes. Let's say your organization has a couple of departments, and each of these departments is using landing pages for its own purposes. For example, HR department for recruitation purposes, yeah, or marketing for advertising, or HR or the people group for events, etc., etc. So that's pretty much two of the most popular cases: reseller or so-called affiliate with the option of selling Landingi as its own solution, and an internal agency purposes. So in order to create a sub account in Landingi, you need to make sure that you are in main account view. Right now, I don't have any sub accounts. I deleted them for today's webinar purposes. And you need to go to sub accounts tab, which is the first position under the drop down. So moving there, we see a big blue button with a plus sign saying create a new sub account. Okay, so let's before we create sub account, though, we need to take a closer look at the limits, because right now we have non-unlimited position and the first and the other like package created on the previous webinar, but these limits are set up in order to keep the usage of resources in check. Meaning, let's say as a main account holder, you've signed a deal, for example, for having like 20 domains, 20 custom domains on your sub account and 100,000 of visitors monthly for your main sub account. Meaning you can have, let's say, 10 customers having 10,000 visitors each. And it's very important to set that limit straight away for these customers, because you can see exactly when they're approaching the limit or when they are crossing the limit. So you can, let's say, renegotiate the deal with your customers or talk to us to raise the limit for you, etc., etc. So we are going to create some new limits. Let's go for limit packages in the main account view. There we go. Okay, so here we are on the left-hand side. We got limit packages position on the nav bar, and we can create a new limit. For example, let's say each of your sub account will use or will have 5 landing pages top limit, can use up to 5 custom subdomains, and use like, I don't know, 10,000 visitors per month traffic limit. And let's say limit package. Let's create that package, and we already have two positions. So let's get back to sub account creation wizard, so to speak. Let's name it sub account 1 for presentation purposes, and pick the limit we've just created, which is limit package number 1, and we can assign it to that account straight away. Right now we have an option to add a new user or create sub account without the user. We are going for the second option, so we are creating sub account without a user assigned to it. It's a good thing to have these if you have, let's say, a couple of deals on the table and you're preparing the sub accounts up front for your customers. So later on, where they signed, you can just assign them to the pre-made sub account, for example.
Yeah, you can basically create a user a bit later and assign certain user to a certain sub account access, for example. So that's also possible later on.
Okay, so right now we have 2 views available. As you've probably seen before, we only had the main account view. Right now we have sub account number 1 view as well. So let's just compare these views. As you can see in here, we can see additional options like limit packages, which can only be created on the main view, or a gallery for the entire account. If you're, for example, if you're using agency account for your own agency purposes, for internal purposes, you can create like a main gallery for global usage on every sub account.
Yeah, and the dashboard statistics, which we are actually looking at right now. And if you scroll a little bit down, there should be, yeah, exactly, like the statistics, which sub account, if you got more of them, which sub account is the most active one, which generates most unique visitors traffic, and which one of them got the most the biggest number of domains as well. So you can control that here in your agency dashboard.
Okay, so comparing it to a view in a sub account. You can see we don't have those global settings available on the left-hand side. Right now, we have a welcome video just in case your customer or the new user wasn't familiar with Landingi solution. You can play the video to quickly learn the ropes or know the most important information about using Landingi.
Yeah, like getting started.
Yeah, pretty much getting started video guide. Okay, so we already have sub account, and of course, what's left is we've got our limits assigned during the creation process. What's left is to show you how to assign a specific landing page to this sub account. For example, you've got a new marketing person who was tasked with let's say landing page optimization process, and you have that landing page on your main account, and you want to move that landing page to a specific sub account, the one we've just created. So let's just take a look at the webinar landing page, which is already listed here, and let's use option duplicate to two accounts. Right now we should see the only sub account we've just created. I'm selecting that sub account and duplicate. Before, we have only that video tutorial available in a sub account view. Right now, we should be able to see a said landing page.
Yeah, of course, on a sub account, you can also, or a user can create new landing pages from scratch from template as well, or by duplicating this for this example, like the webinar landing page, it can also be duplicated and worked on as it is. So that's not the only way to create landing pages on a sub accounts. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we've got that limits we've covered. We've just said how to assign the landing pages to specific sub account. So let's move to the second point of our agenda, to a customization of your agency main account. And to be precise, we are going to talk a little bit about your own notification domain. By default, every notification or autoresponder message in Landingi platform is sent from notifications@landingimail.com address. Of course, in order to make to customize your platform account, you have an option to change that domain to your own. And to show you just quickly how the messages are sent, I'm going to move to my account again, to my main account. And let's say go to that landing page we were tweaking just before a second. Oh, there we are. And let's just enter the lead info to to my email. Let me. It's okay. There we go. Now we need to wait a sec before my lead information falls into my inbox, which should be just now. Okay, there we are. And here we are. We've got Landingi.com, comes from Landingi.com. So it comes from the domain that is assigned to my account, which was created in Landingi domain. So this is how it works. Right now, Carol is going to show you how to customize, how to change that email, the notifications being sent from. So let's just move to his screen right now. And there we go. I think we're already there.
Yes, we are. Thank you very much. So as Patrick mentioned, we can adjust that domain that is being used for the notification and leads email integration leads notification that are being sent to your inboxes. And we can do it from our agency settings panel. So I'm going to go into that right now. And the very first option we have here is actually the one we are interested in right now. By default, I can let me remove it so we can actually see how it looks like. Yeah, so that's the default view of it. But in case you would like to change it, you can put any kind of domain you wish to use for your notification emails, and save the changes. So that's the first thing you need to do. Now you will see an information that to take a further steps to configure it, you need to get in touch with our support. So you can do it either via email or via chat here at the bottom right hand side of your application. But basically what needs to be done is you need to add 3 CNAME records in your DNS zone for your domain. So just to show you that process a little bit more, I will just log into my domain DNS zone. As you can see, I got the domains right here, and one of them is my trainingdns.pl one. So here is my panel of managing DNS. And as you can see, the 3 CNAME records are actually responsible for that redirection. These CNAME records are being created individually for your domain. So that's why you need to get in touch with support, so we can actually report your domain to our development team in order to generate that custom individual CNAME records for you to add for your domain. As you can see, I already did that, so we got that part covered. Going back to my account, let's say I got all this done. So I can actually right now check if that is being sent correctly. So let me just check if or turn on the notifications for my landing page, for example, which I can do here in settings of my landing page. Leads notifications, it's turned on. That's awesome. So now let me just go to the editor of the landing page to turn on the email integration, which is already turned on. Test integration leads, for example, and the autoresponder. Test autoresponder call from Landingi, and some test. As you can see, this is my test domain, which I'm going to use, which I implemented also in the agency settings, as you saw before. And the cool thing about this is the domain you configured is the domain you need to use. However, the prefix before @sign of your email can be adjusted as per your preferences. So this can be actually anything that, in this case, mydomain.pl, and some text message. So let me save that changes. Let me publish them and try to send some test lead for you to see that the notification domain is actually the one I already configured in my agency settings. All right, there we go. So now let me access the landing page itself. Let me just sign up for some tests. All right, awesome. So here we go. Here we got the thank you page, which confirms that the lead has been submitted correctly. Now let me go to my inbox. And as you can see, here I got some autoresponder, which, as you can see, got the email address I adjusted a couple of seconds ago in my autoresponder feature. Going back, we got also the notification about the lead, also sent from the email I configured in my agency settings. And last but not least, the test email integration, the lead from email integration with all the details of the email, of the lead, sorry, again, sent from the domain I configured in my agency settings. So that basically confirms that you can use any domain you own. So most likely your main domain of your company in order to send the notifications from that certain domain to your customers or to your own co-workers, let's say, or basically sub-accounts.
Okay, so while we're on your screen, Carol, we are going to talk about the other agency settings, which is the last point of our agenda today. We were talking about customizing your platform to give your customers, if you are a reseller, that vibe that you are actually selling Landingi solution as your own. So one of the important stuff about it is the branding. So as you can see on Carol's screen, there is an option to customize the logo.
Yeah.
The one you can see in the upper left corner right now, which is the Landingi logo. Yeah.
And this is the default one.
Yeah, this is the default one, which is also seen, which is also visible in Landingi default notification emails or autoresponder emails as well.
Yes.
And right now we are going to show you how to quickly switch it to your own logo. We're not going to be very creative about it, so we are going to use a different Landingi logo as well, but just
a different one,
so you can actually see it's changing. So right now the platform is going to reload in a minute. There we go, and the logo has been changed. Going further down, we have an API documentation option, which is available for sub-account creation purposes. For example, you as a Landingi customer are also selling different services or products, and you want to include Landingi as a part of the services you're providing. So thanks to that API documentation, you can actually connect the process of creating account in your product with creating a sub-account in Landingi platform, meaning everyone who signs in for your product is going to have a Landingi sub-account automatically created. And then later on, you can assign a specific user to it, and so to give the credentials or specific landing pages, which we have shown in the beginning of our webinar.
Exactly. Obviously, it will require a little bit of development from your end, because you need to actually connect our API code with your system. So that will require a little bit of development from your end. But yeah, that's the API documentation we give for your disposal, let's say.
And last but not least, another customization option. As you could see, I don't know, Carol, if you have some landing pages available on a test domain right now.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
There we go.
At least that's this one. If you can just scroll it, zoom it in a little bit. As you can see, we have that's the default test domain. That's your landing pages are published automatically after the creation process. It's landing page preview.com. Obviously, while reselling Landingi solution as your own, you can customize it. You can create your own test subdomain to give that more personal vibe to your customers. So let's say you want to change to mydomain.com or myproductdomain.com or yourdomain.com.
Yeah,
that's the example.
exactly.
Yeah. What you need to do is to make a domain configuration, the very same that you're doing while assigning a regular domain to your sub-account, to your Landingi account. It all comes down to DNS record management. So it's all detailed in this instruction you are seeing right now. It all comes down to 2A records in that case. And after the domain is configured, all you need to do is to contact our support, for example, via the button you can see or via chat, over there. And we are going to verify if the records are actually added properly. And afterwards, we are going to delegate the task to our developers to assign that test domain to your sub account, to your main account.
Yeah, main account.
So that's pretty much it. You can create a logo, you can create your own domain or notifications or autoresponder domain. You can create your test domain to give that to customize your main account to for your sub accounts to see it's actually your platform or your solution. Which actually concludes our today's agenda. And right now it's time for a QA session. So if you have any questions related to what we've just said, just fire away. Of course, you can test the agency plan anytime. Either if you're not our customer yet, you can just create a brand new agency account and test it for 14 days. Or if you're already using Landingi, you can sign up for a free higher plan test, for example. Yeah?
Yes, that's also possible. If you would like to just test out if the sub account feature is something that might be useful for you, you can just get in touch with us and we can upgrade your account to the agency features, just so you can decide whether it's useful for you or not. So yeah, that's possible as well. Also, if you would like to get a personal, individual, one-on-one meeting where we can actually show you around the agency features and generally around the Landingi features, that's also an option here. So yeah, there are a couple of roads to actually get in touch with us and to get started with Landingi platform.
Okay, I'm not seeing any questions right now, so I guess it's time to say goodbye. Thank you guys for your time today. We are going to return to you next month, hopefully with new ideas, with new topics. If you have any ideas on what would you like to see next time, you can just email me or Carol. Let's just drop my email over there for you to see, let's say in the comments. There we are.
Yeah, or use the very generic one, the very generic email, which is support@landingi.com. That will work as well to reach out to us.
Yeah, that one goes directly to me, so you are going to see it in the comment in a section in a second. There we go. So any ideas, any on what you want to see next time, or any particular
feedback or anything?
Yeah, we are always happy to hear it. And for now, once again, thank you guys very much. You have a wonderful rest of your day and see you next time.
Have a great day. Take care.